Today I ducked up by watching porn at work. This needs a bit of a backstory. I am a 26-year-old male and recently started taking finasteride for male pattern hair loss. If you are one of the people from r/Trestless, you will know that one of the side effects of this medicine is erectile dysfunction and loss of libido. It's very rare, but Trestless is full of horror stories. Today was my third day on the medicine and being extremely anxious. Ever since I started taking it, I have been periodically going to the loo and watching porn on my phone just to make sure that my little man answers to my call. Now, I work in a fairly small office based on a single floor with almost 50 people working here. So today after our big planning meeting, I go off to the loo, take my phone out and put some porn on. My phone is always on silent, so I don't even bother checking it. I played a video, marveled at my little guy rising to the occasion, gave it a random jerk and tug. Satisfied that it still works, I zipped up my pants and walked out of the loo. In total I think I spent 1 to 2 minutes in there. Now my desk is at the farthest corner of the office and the toilets are close to the entrance. As I am walking back to my seat, everyone is looking up at me from their screens. Not sure about what's happening, I just smile and wink at people. I get to my desk and my coworker is staring at me, very confused about what's happening. I just sit on my desk and start working again. Couple of minutes later I receive this email on my phone, and to my absolute fucking horror, the notification sound rings on my Jabra speaker on my desk, which my phone automatically connected to after the meeting. Turns out my phone was not on silent and it was broadcasting the porn noises to the entire office. I immediately left the office for my lunch break and it's been almost an hour and I don't feel like ever going back. TLDR, was watching porn in the loo to check if my dick works. Phone was connected to a Jabra speaker and everyone heard it. Update, went back to work after a very long lunch break. Went straight to my line manager and explained everything. He just laughed and said whatever I do in the toilet is none of his business, but I should maybe get headphones for next time. Luckily the HR won't be involved as no one will be making a complaint and none of the HR people sit on our floor. Most of the people are treating it as a joke. I did see some of the females giving me weird stares, might just be in my head. Apparently there was a guy before me who got forwarded one of those voice notes with loud moaning and he played it at the office, and some of the guys later got him handcuffs and a blow-up doll for Secret Santa. I am fairly new in this office and I am relieved that overall everyone is quite chill, but people keep laughing wherever I go. Today I ducked up by watching a porn that almost gave me a heart attack. Not safe for work. About 2 months ago I was watching porn and found a girl who looked like my wife, which I'm into, so I clicked on it. As I watched it I started to think it might actually be my wife. Then I turned up the volume and listened close and I start to panic. It sounds and looks just like my wife. My heart starts pounding. My stomach dropped to the floor when she looked at the camera. In this moment I am convinced. Luckily at the very end of a short clip there was a 3-frame shot at the end that obviously wasn't her, but I couldn't get it out of my head. I kept watching and listening and slowed it down, and with the exception of those last frames it really seemed to be her. Anyways, after I finished my business I just sat and waited for my wife to come home, all the while telling myself things like, it's not her, you're being stupid. I couldn't leave it alone, so I tried looking up the actress but couldn't find the info. Finally my wife came home and I had to show her the clip. First she laughed, then she gasped when the girl looks up. She started to tear up and asked if perhaps she'd been drugged or something. After further inspection and some comparison of identifying markers like birthmarks and the like, we concluded that it's not her but someone who looks and sounds extremely similar. I'm still trying to find out who the girl is because I'm hoping there may be some fun things to watch, like a good lesbian scene. For a good hour there I thought that my marriage of 10 years might have been a sham. The good thing is that it made me realize how much I love my wife and how important she is to me and my life. TLDR, thought my wife was cheating on me in porn movie, almost had a heart attack, turned out to be her doppelganger. Edit, the shot is of her profile and for a moment she looks up, then back to profile and a quick look up again. The whole clip is about a minute and a half long. It's not a professional porno, it's a clip from a webcam show not at a great quality. Had the angles or quality been better, the whole thing could have been avoided. Yes, married men watch porn. I can't believe how many people asked about that. Yes, I'm sure it's not her. No, I won't be posting the source. On the off chance someone figures out who I am, I don't want to give someone I know the link to a porn that looks just like my wife. Edit 2. What I've learned from this thread is that this is a pretty common thing to happen. Also, to all the girlfriends in denial, idealistic 12-year-olds and Christian conservatives. Masturbation is not cheating, neither is watching porn. Believe me, your boyfriends and husbands are much better off watching porn than being left to their own thoughts. You can have sex twice a day and still want to wank it sometimes. Just because you have a steak in the fridge doesn't mean you won't just want the ease and quick satisfaction of a bologna sandwich from time to time. Today I ducked up by using coconut oil as a moisturizer after shaving. Not safe for work. Last night I was in the shower shaving as usual and I decided to try coconut oil as a moisturizer after shaving my bikini line and private parts. My skin is extremely sensitive and shaving it makes it worse, so I'm constantly trying new ways to stop the irritation. I had the great idea of trying out coconut oil as a moisturizer. I had bought some that day and it seemed to work fine. I leave the shower and go to bed with my husband. As we lay in bed, one thing leads to another and we end up having sex. Everything is great and I feel nice and moisturized until my husband starts complaining about his penis burning. He starts freaking out and the skin on his penis got bright red. He freaks out and goes to the shower to rinse his penis with cold water. The pain just got worse for him and I quickly drove him to the hospital. He was practically crying in pain. He had developed small red blisters all over his penis and the skin around it. We were both freaking out and I explained to the doctors everything that had happened. Well, it turns out my husband is allergic to coconuts and had a severe skin reaction to the coconut oil I used as a moisturizer. He is now in bed resting with a sore penis and a severe coconut phobia. So if anyone has any tips for a new moisturizer, let me know. TLDR, I used coconut oil as a moisturizer before having sex with my husband. He had a severe skin reaction to it and developed burning blisters on his penis. Edit. Wow, this is crazy. Thank you for all the awards. Especially the golden coconuts, very fitting. I'm glad my husband's suffering has brought you joy. He is having a great time reading all the comments while his penis blisters heal. And thank you for all the shaving and moisturizing advice. All your tips are appreciated. Today I ducked up by hiding 2 medium-sized cucumbers taped into a long one under my pillow. I'm just gonna say it. I have no sex toys. I don't have anything, no dildos, no nothing. I've always wanted to buy one, but I live with my mom and she goes through my room sometimes, so I was scared of her finding a dildo if I ever buy one. So like a week ago I was getting a bit desperate to have something in me, but I don't want to have sex with anyone at the same time, and I know some girls use cucumbers to masturbate, so I thought I'd try. We have these medium-sized cucumbers at my house, so I grabbed 2 of them. I cut one of the edges from each cucumber and taped the 2 together to make a long one so it'll be easier for me to use it. And then stuff happened. And after that I hide my cucumber under my pillow. This pillow is not the one I usually use for sleep, but it's just there in the corner of my bed and never been moved, so I thought it'd be safe to hide it there. So it's really just always been under my pillow all week. Just now I got home, I got to my room and I saw that pillow to be with no covers and it has moved places. The 2 medium-sized cucumber taped into one is gone. My mom probably was being thoughtful and tried to wash the pillow cover and found my weird-looking vegetable DIY sex toy instead. I haven't met her yet again for the day, but I just hope she says nothing about it. I just hope there will be no pep talk because she's a Catholic and very conservative. Yikes. TLDR made a DIY dildo using cucumbers and hide it under my pillow. Came home today, pillows moved and cucumber dildo is gone. Mom's thoughtful today, tried to wash the pillow covers so she probably found the cucumber and took it, I don't know. Today I ducked up by being cringe level oblivious at the end of a hot date. Not actually today, this was a few years ago. But I thought I would share nonetheless. Probs NSFW but wanted to be safe. I was a 20-year-old shy guy and hadn't dated before. Met this really gorgeous girl on my college campus, really tall with striking long hair. She was an athlete and was super attractive, and friendly to boot. I felt very lucky just getting her attention. I was super nervous but invited her to drinks at the bar as my first ever date. She declined, saying she was tired after a long day, but instead asked if I wanted a drink at her place. I agreed, sort of surprised at the location but whatever. That night I turned up at her flat and all her friends were out at a massive party, so it was just me and her with this big place to ourselves. She took my coat off to hang it up and rubbed my back as she did so things already started off flirty. We start talking hobbies, I'm making her laugh, she's smiling, it's all great. I'm feeling like James Bond. She breaks out some alcohol and we get a little drunk. She's staring me in the eyes and we're sitting really close on a sofa. Instead of kissing I just sit there, kinda nervous and inexperienced still. Then she gets up and puts some music on and we suddenly do this romantic slow dance around the room. Awesome. After that we sit down again, this time on her bed, which she led me over to. I think nothing of this. She looks at me, biting her lip. I sit there, continuing to think nothing of this. Eventually we're talking again, and this goes on for like 30 minutes. On her bed. Then she puts on Netflix and starts skipping through some movies, chatting about clips from her favorite ones. They all seem to be sex scenes, and she's sort of skipping through them joking over and over about sex. Confused, I continue sitting next to her on her bed, nodding quietly and thoughtfully, thinking nothing of this. After like 10 more minutes of her doing this with all these sexy movies I realize it's kinda late. I stand up and stretch, before smiling really politely. This was wonderful, I had such a great night. But I have such a long journey home, so I should really get to the train now. She looks surprised and asks if I wanna stay a bit longer. While sat on her bed. No, thank you very much, but it's quite a lengthy trip. I'd better leave now. See you. I still remember her giving me this perplexed, flat smile as I left the room and walked to the station with a huge grin on my face, convinced I had just had the best date ever. Needless to say a second one didn't end up being on the cards, and it took me about 3 days to realize what she was hinting at on our first rendezvous. Oops. TLDR, failed to realize my date wanted to have sex even after she spent 30 minutes showing me movie sex scenes while we sat on her bed.
Did you make it through the whole video? If so, thank you for your time. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Have a good day. Or night. Or evening. Or morning. Or whatever.